Hello. I thought I would tell just exactly how that the Lord takes care of each and every need. If you need salvation, be delivered from anything whatsoever, He is the deliverer. He says, He that cometh to me, I'll in no wise cast out. So therefore, we know that we can come to Him just as we are, and He will cleanse us and make us free from all the things that are bothering us. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I turned my life to Him. So if you haven't turned your life to Him, it is joy unspeakable and full of glory. So therefore, if you'll just yield to Him and let Him take hold of your life, then if you need healing, all you have to do, call out to Him because He is the healer. He paid that price on Calvary. He was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquity. Chastisement of our peace was upon Him, and by His stripes we are healed. So we can turn our healing matters over to Him. If it's a broken heart, if it's that you're in terrible financial need, if it's in a battle with your loved ones, whatever it is, Lord, He can take control of it. Isn't that wonderful? We got it all wrapped up in one package when we accept Jesus Christ. We got it all together. And all we have to do is acknowledge Him and let Him direct our path, not be wise in our own eyes, but fear the Lord and depart from evil. Now I want to take you a couple of little stories on the healing part. I'll tell you a part of that. I went out to clean out my flower bed. This has happened, several years ago. I went out to clean out my flower bed, and there was a wall of bricks broke off of the flower bed on the patio, and I picked it up, and when I did, two bricks fell off. One fell and broke my left big toe. The other one fell off and broke my right foot right in the middle of it. Oh, I was in pain. The next morning, that was on Saturday morning, the next morning I called Kathy uh, Winchester. She went to the nursing home ministry with us, and I told her to tell them I wouldn't be able to be there that day. I'd broke both feet. I had dropped working on my feet and broke both of my feet. I sat there in so much pain. About 10 minutes to 10, I thought I'll go and see if I can find some kind of rub I can put on my foot to ease the pain. What I could rub on it. So I go into the bathroom and I walk up against the counter, and I'm standing up against the counter, and I reach over to find something, and immediately I felt the healing virtue go through my body. I looked down, my big black toe on my left foot had gone down to normal. It left a red spot there and a spot on my foot. It's still there, but it was healed. Then my right foot, that black swelled with a black line across it. My right foot had gone down to normal. I reached down and it's a little bit tender for a few minutes. It left the black spot across my foot. So that's just reminders to where I can show people as I tell them about the mighty miracle of instant healing that came forth. And you know what it was? Kim was with Kathy that morning, her sister. Kim said that was the exact time the nursing home people went to prayer for me. See, he reached from down on the highway all the way over here to my home and healed me. He'll do the same for you. When God's people reach out, He does things for them, whatever they ask, and that's the healing. Then let's take the finances. I have had a lot of things that have come about that God has brought in mysterious ways, in such mysterious ways. The one I'm going to tell about today is the rent house. My my brother-in-law was crippled. My husband and I bought him a house. He passed away. After my husband passed away, a few years later, my brother-in-law passed away. So the house needed painting. So I had several people to estimate it, and it cost so much. The Lord spoke to me and told me I could pay $50 to have it painted. People don't work that cheap. But anyway, I had it estimated, and everybody wanted $300 and $400, and I didn't have that kind of money. So I go buy my paint. I get my letter. I get me a pair of knee shorts to go under my dress. My sister-in-law would give me a pair one time, and if I needed them to wear under my clothes, I could. And so I put my knee shorts on, put my clothes on, my skirt on over it, and I go over to the place to paint the house. And I put the ladder up against the house, and I get my paint and everything ready. And I get over there, and as I climb up on the ladder, here come two men in white painters overalls, and walking down the street. When they got to the fence where I was up on the ladder, the house where I was up on the ladder, one of the men said to me, "Lady, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm fixing to paint this house." "Oh, you can't paint this house." I said, "Well, I can. You just watch me." "Lady, you can't paint this house. Please, lady. Lady, will you please come down off that ladder? If you'll come down off that ladder, I'll tell you what I'll do. You got your paint sitting here. I will scrape this house. I will caulk these windows. I'll put 2 coats of paint on this house for $50. I said, "Man, you got a job." Oh, I'm telling you, isn't that beautiful how God sends in a time of need? They done a very good job. The house was very pretty after they got through with it. I'm so glad I know who Jesus is. I'm so glad He is concerned about my every need. There's not any need that comes around that He is not concerned with. I'm happy on my road to heaven. You'll be too. If you just ask Him to forgive you for sins, come into your heart, and then live for Him. And when you live for Him, you begin to reap so many great, mighty miracles that you need performed. I think about a need we had one time. My sister-in-law had left with our two little nieces. And oh, we loved them so much. We wanted to see them so bad. I went to the house and she closed the door. I asked to see them and she closed the door, wouldn't let me see them. I was brokenhearted. My little daughter, Pamela, was a teenager and she had just gotten saved. And we were in the living room. She said, Mama, I'd give anything in the world to see Renee. That was the oldest little girl's name. And I said, so I said, well, get her picture. She got her picture. And we took oil and anointed it and prayed. And I believe it was the following Saturday, it was the following week that her mother called and said, I've made arrangements for you to see the children. I will meet you at the skating rink in, I forgot, wasn't Garland, I forgot what, Carrollton, it was in Carrollton. I'll meet you at the skating rink in Carrollton. So we went and we got to be with those precious babies. Isn't that wonderful? That's just like the Lord. One time in the nursing home, one of the ladies was crying, and she said that nobody had been to see her since she's in there. And we joined hands and prayed. The following week, she met me at the door, and she had letters, she had had phone calls, she had had visits, long distance phone calls, and a hometown phone call, and everything, and she had had visitors to visit her. See how God works, mighty, through the pulling down of strongholds. There's nothing too strong for Him. My God can do anything. Just accept Him. Let him be your guide. He has so many things for you.